Russia continued with its missile attacks on Ukraine's port city of Odessa. At least one person was killed, another 20 people were injured. Ukraine claims 6 houses and an apartment building were destroyed by Russian missiles. Odessa's historic cathedral was also damaged after the strikes caused its roof to collapse. Russia said that 2 drones launched from Ukraine were intercepted over Moscow. Russia's defense ministry said one of the drones was heading to an office building before it was intercepted. Moscow's mayor said the second drone was intercepted, but its fragments damaged 2 residential buildings. No injuries were reported. The city's mayor has called the drone strike a terrorist attack. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin hosted Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko in St. Petersburg on Sunday. Putin told his Belarusian counterpart that Ukraine's counteroffensive had failed. Lukashenko said that the Wagner Group mercenaries were training the Belarusian army. He added that the Wagner troops were eager to go across the border into Poland. Australian and US soldiers participated in live-fire drills on Sunday. They are taking part in the Talisman Sabre military exercise. These military drills are held every 2 years in Australia's Shoalwater Bay. 11 other nations are also participating in the drills. The objective is to increase coordination with countries in the Indo-Pacific region. Protesters scuffled with Israeli police in Jerusalem on Monday. This was as the Israeli parliament commenced voting on Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's judicial overhaul plan. Demonstrators chained themselves to the entrance of the Israeli parliament. They accused Netanyahu of weakening Israel's democratic systems. The controversial overhaul aims to limit the powers of Israel's courts. This has caused protests for over 30 consecutive weeks, plunging the nation into chaos. Spain held its national election on Sunday. Conservative Party leader Alberto Núñez Feijóo claimed victory despite falling short of a majority. His party won 136 seats. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez's Socialist Party came second with 122 seats. Spain is now looking at a hung parliament as negotiations between parties over power sharing are underway. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni is seeking an alliance with other European countries to tackle illegal migration. Meloni said that nations needed to come together to provide more legal routes to asylum seekers. She added that this would be done to prevent migrants trying to cross the Mediterranean Sea into Europe via illegal means. The North African country of Tunisia has become a major departure point for asylum seekers. Meloni urged other EU nations to aid Tunisia in tightening its borders. So far, Europe has earmarked $110 million for Tunisia to tackle illegal migration. Large crowds protested in Thailand's capital, Bangkok, on Sunday. The demonstrators took to the streets after the Move Forward Party's leader, Pita Limjaroenrat, was blocked from becoming the Prime Minister. Protesters braved the rain, demanding the reinstatement of the Move Forward Party's leader to Parliament. Last week, Limjaroenrat was suspended as a Member of Parliament by a military-backed Senate. However, he is still eligible to become the Prime Minister. This is because Thailand does not require the PM to be a Member of Parliament. The Cambodian People's Party declared a landslide victory in the Southeast Asian nation's national election on Sunday. Prime Minister Hun Sen won the one-sided election after banning most opposition parties from running. He has been in power for almost 4 decades and has cracked down on his political rivals for years. This year, the Cambodian People's Party is endorsing the Prime Minister's son as the country's next leader. Over 3,000 people took to the streets to protest in Pakistan's Karachi city yesterday. They were demonstrating against the desecration of the Quran, which happened in Sweden's capital, Stockholm. Protesters demanded Pakistan's government sever diplomatic relations with Sweden. The organizers of the protest said they would rally every Friday until Sweden's ambassador to Pakistan was expelled. At least 15 people were killed after a passenger ferry sank off Indonesia's Sulawesi island today. 19 people are still missing. At least 6 passengers have been rescued. Indonesian authorities say that search operations are still underway. The cause of the sinking is being investigated. The concrete roof of a school gymnasium collapsed in the northeastern Chinese city of Qiqihar on Sunday. At least 11 students were killed in the tragedy. Officials say 15 children are still trapped beneath the rubble. Responders have safely rescued 4 children. Chinese police officials have arrested those in charge of constructing the school's gym. In climate news, heavy rainfall has hit India's western state of Gujarat. The airport in the city of Ahmedabad was flooded with knee-high water. In Junagadh city, floods washed away cars and damaged property. Meanwhile, in the neighbouring state of Maharashtra, the death toll due to landslides has risen to 26. The Indian Meteorological Department has issued an orange alert for parts of both the states. Meanwhile, the Canadian province of Nova Scotia received torrential rainfall that caused devastating flooding. The storm began on Friday. It dumped more than 25 centimeters of rain on some areas in just 24 hours. The resulting floods washed away roads, weakened bridges, and swamped buildings in the province. 4 people, including two children, have gone missing in the deluge. In China, heavy rainstorms swept parts of the country on Saturday. This led to floods in multiple residential areas. The floods have forced authorities to relocate people from the inundated regions. China's Provincial Water Resources Department and Meteorological Bureau have issued a risk warning for river flooding. Intense storms hit northern Italy after days of high temperatures. Footage showed heavy downpours north of Milan with streets flooding. A stream of icy water flowed down the street as hailstones pelted the area. A wildfire raged through the night on the Greek island of Rhodes. Intense flames have been burning through the island since last week. It has now gathered pace, tearing through forests and vegetation. Thousands of tourists and residents have been evacuated from hotels and homes in the area. In Canada's British Columbia, firefighters are struggling to contain wildfires. Over the past 48 hours, the area has received rain, but not enough to subdue the fires in the region. According to the British Columbia Wildlife Service, more than 30 fires have burnt over 35,000 hectares in the region. Brazil's Christ the Redeemer statue was lit up on Saturday to mark Climate Emergency Day. Climate Emergency Day calls for unified global efforts to fight climate change. On Saturday, the climate clock ticked down below 6 years for the first time. This means humanity has less than 6 years to reduce fossil fuel emissions and limit temperatures to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrialization levels. Pope Francis has said more action is needed against climate change. He said that the recent heat waves and flooding across parts of the world have prompted the need for urgent action. The Pope has also called on the world to stop using fossil fuels. In business and tech news, Elon Musk has said he will change Twitter's logo. The social media platform's iconic blue bird logo will be replaced with an X. Remember, earlier this year, Musk merged Twitter with his everything app called X. He's also posted a poll on the conversation platform In the poll, he asked his followers whether they would favor changing the site's color scheme from blue to black. Reports say audio streaming platform Spotify plans to raise the price of its ad-free premium monthly plan in the US by $1. The company could reportedly increase prices in other markets in the coming months. Last week, YouTube also announced it would hike the prices of its premium plans in the US. It's YouTube Premium's first hike ever since the service launched in 2018. Financial firm Morgan Stanley has raised its 2023 economic growth forecast for the United States. Economists in the firm now expect America's real GDP to grow by 1.3% on average. This is up from its previous forecast of a 0.6% rise. They are pinning this forecast on a strong industrial sector and more public investment in infrastructure. The European Central Bank will ask banks in the region to provide weekly liquidity data from September. This is to carry out frequent checks on their ability to ward off potential crises. An ECB economist said that financial markets were still in a delicate phase. This is mainly due to the ongoing war in Ukraine, higher inflation, and fast rising interest rates. Sam Altman, the CEO of ChatGPT maker OpenAI, is set to launch a cryptocurrency. This is according to a media report. The cryptocurrency will be known as the Worldcoin token. It's set to launch today. A breakdown of how the Worldcoin tokens will be distributed will also be made public. According to reports, Adidas has received orders worth more than $500 million. These were for 4 million pairs of unsold Yeezy shoes. The new order saves the company from taking a financial hit from its remaining stock. In October last year, Adidas stopped selling Yeezy shoes after ending its partnership with Ye. The partnership was terminated after Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, made a series of anti-Semitic comments. Networking giant Cisco is cutting some of its staff in a fresh round of layoffs. The company said these layoffs are a part of its restructuring plan, which it announced in November last year. Last year, Cisco said it would lay off 4,000 employees during the first fiscal quarter of 2023. At the time, it had said this would impact about 5% of its workforce. US-based trading marketplace Chicago Mercantile Exchange Group has eliminated about 100 positions. This amounts to 3% of its workforce. The company plans to reallocate the majority of those positions to new cloud-focused technology roles. According to reports, India has rejected Chinese automaker BYD's proposal to set up a factory in the country. Earlier this month, BYD had submitted a $1 billion investment proposal to build electric cars and batteries in India. This was in partnership with a local company. Back then, India's Commerce Department and Trade Department were reportedly seeking options on the investment proposals. US lawmakers are investigating Ford's partnership with the Chinese battery company CATL. The lawmakers have condemned the automaker's reliance on China. They say its reliance will expose the company as well as US taxpayers to the whims of the Chinese Communist Party and its politics. In February, Ford said it will build a battery plant in the US state of Michigan using technology from CATL. The company had said it was spending $3.5 billion on the project. Moving to sports, in cricket, Indian pacer Jasprit Bumrah is looking to return to the nets. This is according to the Board of Control for Cricket in India. The BCCI also said that Bumrah will play in practice matches very soon. Bumrah is in his final stage of rehabilitation and recovery. The bowler underwent a back surgery in September last year. He has been out of the game since then. The fourth test of the Ashes series was washed out due to rain on Sunday. The match ended in a draw. Hosts England trail Australia 2-1 in the 5-match Ashes Test series. A draw in the fourth test means England cannot win the series. Australia, who were the winners last time, get to retain the Ashes even if England win the 5th Test match. In football, Manchester United beat Arsenal 2-0 in a friendly match. The match was played in New Jersey in the US. United's Bruno Fernandes scored in the 30th minute. Then, 7 minutes later, Jadon Sancho scored for the Red Devils, sealing their win. Manchester United will now play a friendly match against Real Madrid in Houston this Wednesday. Meanwhile, Arsenal will face Barcelona in Los Angeles also on Wednesday. German club Bayern Munich unveiled their new team in front of thousands of fans on Sunday. This included new players like South Korean defender Kim Min-jae. Bayern have held a live training session for their fans, followed by a meet and greet session. The club is also looking to sign Harry Kane from the English club Tottenham Hotspur. Reports suggest that Bayern are willing to offer over $220 million for the English striker. Kylian Mbappe has not been included in Paris Saint-Germain's Asian Tour squad. This comes amid reports that PSG are planning to put the French striker for sale. Relations between Mbappe and PSG have been tense since the striker said he would not renew his contract with the club. Meanwhile, Brazilian forward Neymar has been included in PSG's squad. This comes despite Neymar saying he wanted to leave the French club. In Formula One, Red Bull's Max Verstappen dominated the Hungarian Grand Prix on Sunday. He also secured a record-setting 12th consecutive race win for the Red Bull team. McLaren's Lando Norris finished second, 33 seconds behind Verstappen. Red Bull's Sergio Perez finished third, completing the podium. During the celebrations, Norris knocked over Verstappen's trophy. It shattered into pieces after hitting the ground. After the incident, McLaren issued an apology to Red Bull. In badminton, the Indian pair of Satwik Sairaj Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty clinched the men's doubles title at this year's Korea Open. The final was played in South Korea's capital Seoul on Sunday. The Indian duo lost their first set to their Indonesian opponent 17-21. Then they rallied from behind to win the next two sets 21-13, 21-14. This was Rankireddy and Shetty's 7th title on this year's Badminton World Federation Tour. In golf, Brian Harman won the British Open on Sunday. The tournament was played at the Royal Liverpool Golf Club. The American golfer shot a final score of 13 under to clinch the title. This was Harman's first major title win in his pro golf career. He also received a cash prize of over $3 million. In athletics, India bagged the gold in the men and women's javelin throw event at the Lebanon Athletics Championships. In the men's event, Kishore Jena won with a throw of 78.9 meters. Anu Rani won the women's event with a throw of 55.3 meters. She won with an outstanding margin as the silver medalist managed to throw the javelin just 26.4 meters. In swimming, Frenchman Léon Marchand won the 400 individual medley at the World Aquatics Championship. The tournament is being held in the Japanese city of Fukuoka. Marchand won the race with a timing of 4 minutes and 2 seconds. He broke the 15-year-old record of Olympian Michael Phelps, which was 4 minutes and 3 seconds. During the ceremony, Marchand received the gold medal from Phelps. Moving to the world of entertainment, Barbenheimer attracted cinema goers in record numbers over the weekend in America. Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer and Greta Gerwig's Barbie together made over $235 million in the opening weekend. Barbie earned $115 million in ticket sales, while Oppenheimer earned a little over $80 million. In India, Oppenheimer is leading at the box office, while Barbie is making slow progress. Oppenheimer has drawn mixed reactions over an intimate scene that happens in the presence of the holy book, the Bhagavad Gita. The scene sparked controversy even before Oppenheimer premiered. On Twitter, some viewers said that the scene was disrespectful, while others were surprised that it was released in the first place. The 80th Venice Film Festival has changed its opening selection. This comes after the scheduled movie pulled out because of the ongoing Hollywood writers' strike. The movie Commandant will now open the film festival in place of Challengers. The decision comes 2 weeks after actors joined striking writers for the first time in over 6 decades. Hollywood actor Robert Downey Jr. recently answered the most searched questions about him on the internet. On being asked about his first job, Downey Jr. said that his first job was at the Indian Walk shoe store on Broadway. Downey Jr. revealed that he worked about 10 shifts but was fired because of his sticky fingers. Fashion designer and singer Victoria Beckham performed the Spice Girls' hit song Say You'll Be There during a karaoke night in Miami. She performed the song with her husband David Beckham. Victoria Beckham was part of a girl band which was formed in 1994. The band sang a number of songs about female unity like Wannabe. The band experienced the height of their popularity in 1998, but in 2000 they announced an indefinite hiatus. Singer Selena Gomez has turned 31 years old. Gomez celebrated her birthday with celebrities including singer Christina Aguilera and model Paris Hilton. The singer is also the founder of makeup brand Rare Beauty. She took to social media and thanked her fans, saying, "Because of you, we have been able to raise awareness on mental health." American singer-songwriter Taylor Swift's re-recorded album Speak Now, Taylor's version, has spent a second week at #1 at the Billboard 200 chart. This is Swift's first re-recorded album that has spent its first 2 weeks at #1. The other 2 albums that Swift re-recorded are Fearless and Red. Rapper Drake has expressed his skepticism over the idea of marriage. In a podcast, Drake said that according to him, marriage is like a thing of ancient times. He added, and I quote, "I don't think I can offer somebody what they would be looking for right now." Drake has a 5-year-old son with French artist Sophie Brousseau. However, his relationship status is not known. K-pop girl group Kiss of Life member Julie Han has issued a public apology. The singer apologized on Twitter for using the N-word while singing during a training session 5 years ago. The apology comes after a video clip of the singer resurfaced online. The video received heavy criticism. The singer said, and I quote, "I realized how my careless actions can cause harm to many people." Comedy legend Charlie Chaplin's daughter, Josephine Chaplin, has died at the age of 74. A US-based news publication revealed that the actor died on July 13th in Paris. The exact cause of her death is not known, but Chaplin was reportedly battling an illness for a long time. As a child, she appeared in the movies Limelight and A Countess from Hong Kong with her father.